Hello and welcome to another game of wool, a song of local yarn shops. And today we're down in Bath at Laura's shop, and Laura joins me now. Laura, tell us, if we were walking by or driving by wherever your shop is set, what do we see from the outside? How do we know where your shop is?
Well, so we are tucked down a really old cobbled street in Bath. So actually we're really off the main drag. You kind of need to find us a little bit. So to make it easier, we have a great big yellow sign at the top of the street. And our door is sunshine yellow. So you can walk past and you turn down and you're like that, no way of missing it. So yes, it's really nice because what it means is people who come in are yarnies and they know what they want. They're not just kind of like passing by. They're kind of really trying to find us. So it's really lovely. We are still really central. Marks and Spencer's is just there. The train station is just up there. The Abbey is just over there. So we are really central, but...
Oh! That's all right. Is this good? It's good. It's what it's all about. This is why... This is why I wanted to do these shows, because we want to actually see in the yarn shop and see the owner. And this is the reality of it. It's about
the mess. I tell you, the reality is embarrassing. Right. Let me see if I can do it. And then I'll go like that.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, so we are actually really central, but we are hidden away, which is kind of like a little treat you've got to find.
Now, what are your opening hours as well? Tell us your opening hours in general. I know we're at Christmas at the moment as we speak.
Weird times.
So it might be different there. But in general, what are your opening hours?
So we open every day except Sunday. And we open at 9:30 and we close at 5:30. And so we're quite like hardcore.
You are.
We are. But I come from a retail background. So I've worked in corporate retail for... nearly 30, long time. So I'm used to working, ridiculous hours and Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. And when I opened the shop, really, I knew that I had to have long hours because we were in the middle of the city, but I made Sundays and bank holidays, they were ring fenced. So we have never opened on Sundays or bank holidays, just so that we all get a little bit of a break, at least one day in the week. But I have a biggish team. There's 8 of us. So between us, so I work in the shop just 3 days. The rest of the time I work from home. And then I have a team who work at the beginning of the week. We call them the early girlies. And then I have a team who work with me at the end of the week. So although we're open 6 days, nobody does more than 3 days, which is really nice. It keeps life and work in a good balance.
Oh, lovely. And this is fascinating because some of the yarn shops we've spoken to, it is just one person. And for some reason, I always thought it was just you. And I thought, well, how does she manage to work all those hours? So you're actually a huge team then for a local yarn shop.
We're a really big team. When I had kids, it was just me for a while. And then I had my eldest son, Joe, he's 12. And I took on this amazing girl called Becky for maternity cover. And she never left. So, and then when I came back to work after having children, I kind of wanted to engineer it that my husband also has a shop. So he worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I looked after Joe, and I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and he looked after Joe. Anyway, the kids are bigger now, so we don't have to do that anymore. But the hours really worked and really stuck, and we've done that ever since.
So then, let's go into yarn, because I know people always want to know about yarn.
Absolutely.
And I can see we're actually I'm in my shop this morning to get you and look at you in your shop there. So give us an idea of yarns and brands that you've got, and then we'll talk about weights of yarn.
Lovely. So we have a really broad range of yarns. So we do stock, I think we have 30 something brands of yarn and accessories. We're a Rowan flagship store, but we have all sorts of other stuff. So we stock some independent stuff. We stock some stuff from Europe, some stuff from the US. And what we always really try and do is have, you can't be all things to all people, but we try and have a little bit of the sort of budget stuff, and then we have a little bit of the luxy stuff. But we're really lucky in Bath. There are 2 other wool shops, one of which is a haberdashery that stocks the sort of cheap and cheerful, and then one which is a really a sort of high-end luxury shop. So we sort of sit in the middle of that, with quite a broad range for in terms of price and quality, you know.
Yes, yeah. Have you got any favourite brands that you stock? You personally like yourself?
As I asked me to choose my favourite child. So I thought you might ask me this. My favourite is a real. It's kind of dull, but it's really sort of enduring. It's the Rowan Kid Silk Haze. Yeah. It's been like in my shop since day one, and we're 15 years old now. And it's been in the shop since day one. And I can't tell you the number of projects I've used it for. Wow. And although during it, sometimes I'm a little bit like, why did I choose to knit with mohair? The finished product, if you add in Kid Silk Haze, always just seems to be that little bit more wonderful. And I've just got here some of these beautiful colours. They're K Facet colours for autumn winter, and they're just extraordinary. They're like sweet. It's absolutely beautiful. And there's this huge thing at the moment for holding Kid Silk Haze with something else, and that just blows my mind. And I've done hundreds and hundreds of swatches with different color pairings, and I just think it makes it such an endless choice, and you can really personalize it. So Kid Silk Haze unfortunately gets my fave vote, which I know you shouldn't.
There is something about Kid Silk Haze. I used to stock Rowan in my shop, but Kid Silk Haze has been around before this recent mohair trend, because now we see knitting for Olive and their Kid Silk, and we're seeing it everywhere. But Rowan Kid Silk was before everyone, wasn't it? Really,
absolutely. Do you remember? So Louisa Harding and oh my gosh, I've forgotten her name. There was a designer. That's really bad of me. And she was doing this 20 years ago, the holding double, the holding triple, you know, the multi-stranding. I have a Debbie Bliss jumper that I knitted, right at the beginning when I opened the shop. And it's 3 strands of Kid. It was when she didn't design just for Debbie Bliss, but it was 3 strands of Kid Silk Haze, and it made an ombre by using, you know, 3 black, then 2 black and 1 dark grey, then 1 black and 2 dark grey, and then 3 dark grey. And it did this most amazing ombre. And I just think it has this really powerful ability to transform anything in a way that perhaps some other yarns don't.
I know cost is often a conversation point.
Yes.
And Kid Silk Haze is a higher cost. And I think
it really is.
It has been frustrating to see Rowan put their prices up, but that's the way of the world.
It's true.
There is something about the quality, though, of Kid Silk Haze where it is, you still get that in your money, the price for it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have some alternative. This is, you know, we were talking earlier about that mid-range.
Yeah.
So we actively always try and look for things that make yarn less exclusive in a good way. We don't want it to be exclusionary. You know, we don't want it to be that you exclude people based on money, which is such a stupid reason. So we have a couple of options which have no silk in, for example, and they give you a very, very similar look. And to be fair, Mode Rowan, the new launch, they do something called Alpaca Haze, which is an alpaca nylon, and it works. It mimics the kind of Kid Silk Haze look, and it's $5.95 instead of $12.25. So you get that same vibe. You don't get the color choices and blah, blah, blah. And there's lots of reasons why it's worth the money. But if your budget doesn't stretch to it, we have options. And that's part of our MO is kind of like, you want this, but it's out of budget. Let's find you a great alternative.
Oh, that's nice to know. Okay, so I'm coming in your shop, and I I'm interested in, say, 4-ply or fingering weight. How is your shop laid out? Is there a 4-ply section that I would go to, or go on, tell me more then?
We organise everything by weight. So you come in at the front, and it's winter time, so everything starts with the super chunky, goes through chunky, then Aran, worsted, DK, sport, 4-ply, and then lace weight. Then behind me we have the British wool, which is organised by weight as well. So everything is UK based, UK dyers, undyed local farms, that kind of thing. And then we have a plant fibre section, which is also organised by weight. And then we have a sock island, a whole kind of section, which is just sock yarns. So if it's a great way to shop, and that's why we've laid the shop out like this. So if you come in with a pattern from Knitting for Olive or Petite Knit or something like that, and it needs a certain gauge, we can direct you to a small section that means you are not kind of overwhelmed by choice.
And now I love your idea of plant-based section.
Yes.
I've never even thought about doing that. And now I might nick that idea myself.
Do it. It's so good because it's not just, there's a lot of people with allergies. There's a lot of people for ethical reasons don't want to use animal fibers. There are a lot of ecological reasons. We stock a lyocell, and the closed loop system of extracting that is really eco-friendly. So there are lots and lots of reasons why cottons they're not just a summer fibre. They can suit people throughout the year if you have specific needs. So
now tell me about that, because at my little yarn shop here, sometimes I struggle in the summer when my local community decide to want to be out in the garden in the summer. So it really slows down for me. How do you cope as a yarn shop in those summer times? Do you find there's an issue? Do you offer other things at that time of year? How do you get by that hard bit in the summer?
It is, because it is tricky. The demographic changes completely, but the thing is, we are in because we're in Bath, in the middle of Bath. Bath is a real tourist hub, so we get a lot of visitors from overseas. So for us, summer yarns are important. The plant-based yarns are important, but really what we have is a lot of people who are looking for something they can't get at home. Right. So that's why we created this British wool section. So when people are looking for something as a souvenir for their holiday, or to take back to a friend or a knitter or crocheter at home, that's what kind of keeps the fires burning, is the British wool. So for us, we can really kind of tap into the visitors and the tourists who are just, like I do when I go on holiday. I always try and find the local wool shop. So they're doing exactly the same. And we have something to offer them, which is they can't get at home, basically. That saves us in the summer because there's just not as much knitting and crochet that goes on in the summer months. And certainly as it's got hotter, that feeling when you're really sweaty and you're like, my tension is wrong, my yarn's gone fuzzy, I can't do it. So even the most hardened knitters, we have to give it a break when it gets really hot.
Oh, I'm loving talking to you because I feel I know you already, even though we've never met, because of your wonderful Instagram stuff. You're a bit like, because I've spoken to Gareth at Manchester Wool and Yarn.
Lovely Gareth.
Isn't
I love watching him.
No, but you've been around much longer than him on the Instagram world, your reels that you do and your funny voiceovers, they're fabulous. Where do you get your ideas from to do that?
Do you know, I just, so the world is a tricky place right now, and I'm like, let's just find some humor. I can't take anything too seriously. The planet is on fire, and and I kind of think if we could just have a little giggle, it just takes the edge off what can be really heavy news and things like that. So what I do is I am annoyingly addicted to my phone. So when I watch other people, and I'll watch something and I'll be like, that could be a woolly version. So it's because basically I spend too many hours on Instagram, and I just keep seeing, it's terrible. But yeah, so I basically just pinch ideas from other clever people who've done it first.
Oh, I love it. Keep it up, because it is just wonderful, and it, as you say,
we need a bit of silliness, you know.
Indeed, absolutely. Now, if I'm coming into your shop to buy yarn and actually knit something, do you do old school individual patterns, you know, like the big folders that you browse through?
We do. We have the big folders.
You do?
We do. We're so old school. I was born in the 1970s, kids, and I feel like I love the idea of an analog world. I'm contradicting myself because I love Instagram, but I love handwritten notes. I love lists that I can cross through.
Yeah.
I love all of that. So I really value a kind of a paper pattern or a book.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of single patterns, so old school. We do also, though, have Rowan do something where you can buy single patterns online and you can get the email sent directly to you. And we also, you know, we're not gatekeepers. What we try and do is, if this is a pattern I bought online, I'm like, if I see a beautiful pattern or if I know of a pattern that I think is suiting what someone's asking for, then I'll just help them find it that way. And that is a kind of the customer service side of things, is actually getting the customer what they want, even if it's not necessarily putting money in your till. I think what it does is it creates a kind of a connection with someone, and then they'll come back because they trust you and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's so refreshing, Laura.
I love the internet for patterns, but we have the most hilarious, slightly grotty, need to change them, folders that are brilliant and full of amazing ideas and patterns for yarns that we have in the shop.
Oh, brilliant. And so you don't mind customers coming in and they go, oh, I'm looking for a pattern, and browsing for 20 minutes, looking through those folders and things. Oh.
Yeah, no, we've got a table and chairs. We used to have a sofa, and we had a great big dog, and he used to sit on it, and many times the dog and the husband would be snoring, and we had to get rid of the sofa because we needed more room. So now we have a table, and people can sit at the table, so it's not quite so comfortable, but it is lovely to just sit and browse patterns without someone interrupting you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's wonderful to know. What about workshops and classes? Do you go down that route, or are you just so busy with customers and actual sales there is just no time for that?
So we used to do classes. I mean, the world was a very different place 5 years ago. So yeah, we did used to have a class kind of structure. But one of our teachers, who ended up being the only teacher we had, she got very sick. So we couldn't find a tutor that we were really happy with.
Yeah, that's hard. It's hard, isn't it?
It's really hard because you can be a really good knitter or a really good crocheter and not a very good teacher.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have to have this amazing kind of ability to teach as well as knit and crochet. So we don't do that, but we do have we have a monthly knit surgery with a lady called Bethany who comes in and she helps people if they're stuck with specifics one-to-one. We have a weekly knit night, which is just here, chat, tea, biscuits. And that is just lovely. They are just this gang, and it's, you know, people dip in and out, and it's just lovely.
Yeah.
And it's in the shop as well, which is really nice. But yeah, so we don't do lessons as such, and at the moment we don't quite have the capacity for it. But it's always something that we're like, that would be really nice, and that would be really good, and wouldn't that be interesting? And you know, but we haven't quite got it on the agenda yet.
Yeah, that's right. But that's the beauty of your own yarn shop, isn't it? You find, right, I'm going to focus on that for the moment. I'm going to focus on that. I used to do teaching classes, but I've now pushed for more knit and natter classes because I love that social element,
the community. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and And for me, it's about having them here in the shop, because when customers come in, if they're stuck or they might just be visiting, they tend to come out to the back here where I'm sat at the table, and they go, oh, what are you doing? What are you all making? And that conversation to me is more important than maybe some of the money going through the till.
Agreed.
It doesn't bother me if they then leave not buying anything, but they've left going, oh, I've been inspired by that, or the ladies have even helped me with my knitting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, when you have groups of knitters and crocheters together, the inspiration you can get from their choices, and you would have never put those colors together, or you'd not seen that pattern before, and it's this kind of organic sharing, and it's just wonderful. And honestly, I've so many times customers come in and they'll bring a pattern and they're looking for the yarn, and I'm like, straight onto Ravelry, download that pattern, because it's fantastic. And you only get that when you have a really beautiful community.
Absolutely. And it adds something to the shop that I can't quite put my finger on it. It's almost like the heart and core of a yarn shop.
It is.
And it adds so much more. I love it. But of course, it's about space and there's time, because there are 101 things that you've got to be doing as a yarn shop.
Exactly. And I think like you say, there's going to be, you're going to go into two yarn shops are going to be the same. You're going to 10 yarn shops, and they're all doing things slightly differently because it works for them. And that's why, yarns that sell beautifully in Birmingham, a city centre, are not going to sell in Bath, and vice versa. And you go to different places and you've got completely different demographics. So you have to have a yarn shop that works for the community that it's in.
Absolutely.
So it's great.
Now, talking about yarns that sell, have you got yarns at the moment that are just flying out the window? Is there a real current one that everyone seems to be buying?
I don't know whether you have ever stocked it, but the SYMFONIE TERRA, have you seen that?
I went for the Symphony, the hand-dyed yarn, which didn't do very well, actually.
The Viva?
They've discontinued it, but yes. But I've not done the Terra one. Tell me more about that then. So
the Terra is a hand-dyed merino sock yarn from the guys at Symphony, Knit Pro. And it's really brilliantly priced for a luxury yarn. So it's 15.25. The colours, the saturation on the colours is incredible. The texture is incredible. And loads of people don't use it for sock yarn because it's so lovely. But if you make socks in it, they are absolutely delicious. And we sell so much of that. That's our shop bestseller at the moment.
Is it? Have you got one to show?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not very prepared.
No, don't. That's what I like about this. This is the whole point. And you've got a fancy iPad there. It's zooming in and out on different things. What have we got on the top? Oh, it's following you. That's so cool.
Is following. I know. Why would it do that? Look at these. They are absolutely beautiful. And the sock it creates is just so smooth and lovely. They're really gorgeous, and they look like they should be 25 quid, and they're 15.25. So that's what I think. People look at them and go, oh, aren't they lovely? And they kind of make the assumption that they're going to be out of budget, and they're not, and they are wonderful. So
now,
that's a really good seller.
Because at my shop, we have different price points. And I like a nice wool yarn, and sometimes I do like a nice acrylic yarn. So I am actually a big fan of James C. Brett, even though they're kind of an old school company. Them. And I think I saw a post that you've got some of their stuff in as well.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
Do you mean the Elegance DK?
Yes, I haven't got that, and I looked at it.
It's so good.
Is it?
It's so good. I did a petite knit pattern. You'll get bored of me saying that.
Not at all. I've got the Sophie scarf hanging up somewhere.
I mean, it's just the law. You have to do a petite knit. This hat, which is so, you can't see, but it's so beautifully constructed. I made this hat in the James Brett Elegance. And it's only 20% wool. The rest is man-made, but it's got this amazing shimmer going through it. with the halo. So this is sort of what you'd achieve if you put a 4-ply and a kid silk haze together. It's got a very similar look, and it's £4 a ball.
Yeah.
And it's just lovely. It's so, the color palette is amazing. There's this real pastel, slightly unicorn kind of color palette. And it's lovely. And it's a real way for people to not have to spend a small fortune. You know, it doesn't have to be cashmere. Cashmere is lovely, but it doesn't have to be cashmere, you know, and it just means that you can make something beautiful without breaking the bank.
And there is something about having different yarns and different brands and what their makeup is in your shop.
Yeah.
And I know we get yarn snobs, don't we? And everyone has their preferences.
Yes.
But what I like about James Brett is they're an old-fashioned company, but they almost don't care that they're old-fashioned still. You know, their logo is still a bit, it could look a bit dated, but they know what works and what sells for them, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think, you know, that acceptance of not being all things to all people is really valuable, because then you sit right in your niche, you sit right in your lane, and you do that really, really, really well.
Yeah.
And that makes a huge difference. And we tend to, so we have a lot of, same as you, a lot of price points. But what we do is we tend, if you listen to what a customer's asking for, you can often lead them to something, and you let them decide if that's out of budget. Do you know what I mean? And where I used to work in really high-end luxury skincare, which is really very, very different. Yeah. And they always said, look, you have no idea what someone's budget is. Give them what they want, and imagine everything's £1. So you're not looking at things in terms of the cost. You don't know what someone's budget is, and you might spend £50 on yarn, and they might have a £200 voucher in their purse. You just don't know. So you you can't make assumptions. You just have to make sure that you're matching what the customer is asking for with the right product. And then, you know, they might say perfect, or they might say anything a little bit cheaper, and then you kind of work it out. Or they might say, oh no, I don't want man-made fiber, I actually want something that's pure. And you have to do a lot of listening, and that's why a broad spectrum of yarns and qualities and prices and fibers makes so much sense for being able to give a customer exactly what they're looking for.
But you are right with that point. We must never assume as shop owners. We must go, oh, we've got a more affordable one here at £4 and a high-end one here at £15, because actually their opinion of affordable and high-end could be a completely different scale.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you a really quick story. Yeah. When at the place I used to work was Space NK. I don't know if you know it. It's really ridiculously expensive. And I was at a training and they were talking about, you know, they used to talk about selling things for customers specifically on what they're asking for, no assumptions. It was about not assuming. And while they were doing the training, I wasn't there. This was an anecdote. They were on the shop floor, and the trainer was like, all the customers, are they okay? Are they being seen to? And somebody was a bit like, she's not, I don't think she's going to buy anything, you know, slightly scruffy, a leather jacket. Anyway, and she was like, we'll go and just check she's okay before we carry on with the training. And they went over, and it was Renee Zellweger. And it was like, oh, yeah, you don't know by looking at people anything about their preferences, their budgets, their likes and dislikes. You just have to make sure that you're asking the right questions and getting the right answers from people, you know?
Yeah, and as you say, listening. Just listen.
Listening.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you might have a favourite yarn.
Yeah.
And it not be what the customer's asking for, and then they lose faith in you because you're not listening, you know?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Now, I saw some on your table there. You've got some wool in the gang there.
I do. I thought I'd bring you one of my faves. This is my, this is Alpachino Merino, which is alpaca merino. They do two. They do solids and they do these twists, which is really beautiful. This has been really popular. They have quite a young demographic, and kind of the simplicity and the quality of the yarn is what really sells it. But the patterns that go with it are really on trend. So there's an awful lot of balaclavas, boxy jumpers, but really simple and really achievable for people. So they are really, really lovely. And I also bought over this, which is a new yarn that we've just started stocking. Do you have Juniper Moon Farm?
I don't, but I have seen them because they're the American through Knitting Fever, isn't it?
That's right. That's it.
But I haven't taken the risk because I thought the whole idea of shipping and taxes and things would be a nightmare. But I don't know if that's not so bad then.
From a shopkeeper point of view, they make it very, very straightforward.
Oh, okay.
Just, just in case. But this is, so the Rambouillet is a merino derivative is the wrong word, but like a descendant of the merinos that were brought over from Europe. This is it. So it's a really lovely soft merino.
100% merino, is that?
100%, yeah. But it's not a merino. It's like a slight deviation on the traditional merino, but it's that same sort of springy, bouncy, lovely. Yeah. And the other thing that we're selling an awful lot of at the moment is the Rico, the Make It Bloomshin, which is a really fine lyocell filament that doesn't change the gauge of any yarn but turns it into a sparkly yarn. I know, right?
So you just hold it with anything you like.
Yes.
Oh my word! I can see
this
it.
Here is knitted plain, and then you hold it double, and you can see the tension doesn't change at all. But you're adding in. So like when people go, "Have you got a red sparkly yarn?" and You've only got silver sparkly yarn. You could pick any red yarn, add the sparkle, and you're done. And
show me that sparkle again. The actual
on the fabric. These are
on the bobbin. So
these are on the bobbin, and they do colours. So and there are a couple of dark sort of Christmassy colours, but they have this. It's almost like rain has settled on your coat.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Delicate. Beautiful.
So you put that sparkle. Pink one with a pink yarn, or did you put a neutral one with a pink yarn?
No, that is the pink one. I was very safe and boring, but yes, that is the pink filament yarn with a pink yarn, and it doesn't change the tension at all. So you can, or if you've got a fibre at home that you want to use, you can just add something sparkly to it. It's magic.
Now, I have seen a lot of Rico when I go to Cologne, to H&H. Oh my God. You have been before? Have you been?
I've never been.
Oh my Lord, Laura. It is phenomenal. It's like being at the NEC, but on 3 floors. It's huge. But
is it dangerously huge as well? Is it like super dangerous to see all the stuff?
No, I think it's just... It can sometimes be overwhelming, hence why I think you need 3 days at least. So you don't try and do it all in one day.
Yeah.
It's incredibly inspiring. What I found is certain brands will use it each year to design a whole new layout and showcase their yarns. And West Yorkshire Spinners are one of those. They are they must spend so much money on their stand. But some companies just turn up, same stand, same place, because they're probably smaller companies and don't have much. But Rico, their stand is huge. Yeah. And I've just been like, as a company, I think, I think I might like to stock you in the future. They have some glorious yarns and some glorious patterns. Yeah. And I've noticed they've done some new men's patterns books. Yes.
And I think, they are super organised. Yeah. They're super innovative. They've always been really brilliant with, post-Brexit, they made it very easy to carry on stocking them, which I do appreciate. They just have these new things all the time, and you just think, God, you've just come up with this something cool constantly. And they do it so well, you know.
They do.
Yeah.
And so I think I might have to go down that route and get some of their yarns, because that looks so cool.
It's so great. They do a tweed one as well, just FYI. They do a tweed, so you can make anything tweedy, and that is just...
Oh, I'm going to be spending...
Here it is, look.
It's the hardest part of the yarn shop owner, isn't it? It's like budget and I want to get that in. I want to get that in. I would get in, but will it sell? Will it sit on the shelf?
And there's no room. And do I take something off to make space for that? Because I think it's brilliant. Yeah, it's tricky.
Have you, off the top of your head, have you ever chosen a yarn that you've loved and it's literally sat on the shelf and not moved?
Oh my gosh, I couldn't tell you the number of times I've done that.
Phew.
And that's really like... It's kind of regular, and I think it's being a yarn shop owner. It's got to be that a combination of head and heart, because you can make. I try now to make decisions based on customer feedback. So, you know, if we are asked for something 3 or 4 times, I'm like, right, I better find it, even if I'm like, you know. But if it sells, you know, we've got to keep the lights on. So, so yes, I do make some decisions sometimes that are definitely heart, not head.
It's so hard though, isn't it?
It's so hard because I can't understand why you know, people don't love it as much as me. But it's just that's the kind of the crux of it, is everybody's different. You know.
Now, we talk about online, and we know competing in this day and age with the big online companies is hard, and I've given up. It's impossible to do.
It's impossible.
But we can still sell online from our little yarn shops, can't we? Can you tell us about your online presence, and what can we find at your shop, and what is your shop address?
So our online shop has everything that we have in the shop, bar 1 or 2 things that are one-offs or from local designers or whatever. So most of everything is on. We are just woolbath.co.uk, all lowercase. My lovely Becky, who started working for me back in 2013, she manages that. She's incredible, and she keeps everything kind of topped up and up to date. It's necessary, but it's definitely not the focus of the business. You know, we keep an eye on it, and it's all about the shop, the physical shop. You know, if we closed online tomorrow, it wouldn't really impact. However, I say that, and this run up to Christmas, we've sent a lot of stuff out, but you know, you do see some places with bags and bags. Going to the Royal Mail, and I'm like, here's my 2 parcels. So it's just not, you know, where we kind of pitch ourselves. Our strength is people coming in and just having this amazing time and being full of like enthusiasm and knowledge, and kind of sharing that with whoever walks in the door. Difficult to do that online. It
is, and that's why we're here, because I as a yarn shop owner, I know we can't. We do. It's easy to moan about the internet and how these big internet companies are getting everything. And I'm thinking, right, okay, but the internet's here. It's not going anywhere. So let's try and find something in the internet that we can enhance and use to our advantage. And for me, that's YouTube. And that's why we're here today doing this show.
Absolutely.
Because we can promote our yarn shops through YouTube or through social media. And our little chats now, and hopefully people might be seeing this over Christmas. They might be seeing it in 4 years' time, and you're still there.
Even more old and wrinkly.
Get off. So yes, it's finding those different ways. So I'm the same. I might go up to the post office, you know, once every 3 or 4 days with 1 parcel. Because we're choosing to focus on different aspects.
For sure. I think also a lot of online presence has huge teams behind it. You know, the real kind of powerhouses where you're getting newsletters into your inbox every 2-3 days. I'm like that. I don't think I've ever written a newsletter. And if I promised to do it, I would let people down immediately. So, you know, it's carving your niche and staying in your niche, isn't it? And I think definitely we like people too much to be stuck in an office on a computer. I like chatting and meeting people, and I think, you know, that's where the real riches are, is kind of in the community and in the people who come in the door and chat with you, and your team members and your suppliers and your reps, and you know, I love all of that.
Oh, I love it. I wish we were closer. Now, before we finish, I just want to talk, because you were talking about local and the community. You said you had some local people. What niche things do you have that's maybe a Bath designer or local designer or indie designers, yarn stuff in your shop? What have you got that you can show?
Hold on to your hats. Let me show you.
I love this. Look at everyone. Look at all those. I think I can spot West Yorkshire spinners there. Oh, what's this?
Right. So you remember I told you about my Becky who works with me.
Yeah.
So she is phenomenal, and she makes these. Now I can't even express to you how cute these are. So these are like capybaras with oranges on their heads. These are little birds. Kingfisher.
I was just about to say that kingfisher. I can tell by the teal and the orange.
Little teapots.
Bring it closer. Come closer.
Sorry, little sparkly sardines. Now these are, each one is completely unique and handmade by her. That's a Highland cow, for goodness sake.
Right, come on, viewers. You need to get emailing and saying, I want that Highland cow or I want that kingfisher.
But right, so let me just show you. And this is how her mind works. She's incredible. This is 2 peas in a pod. So you buy these and then you pop the pea out, and he has his own key ring to give to your best friend. I can't even tell you how...
She needs to be on Game of Wool, Laura.
She would have won it on week 1. Do you know what I mean? But yes, she is amazing, and this is what I talk about when I tell you how fabulous working in any independent shop, not just wool, is. You have stuff like this that's literally made with someone's fingers and then put on a shelf, and I just think you don't get that on the big shops. You know, there's such facelessness, and I think this is what we need in our lives. This is exactly what makes us feel nourished, you know.
And that's what makes our little yarn shops so unique, because you go in and you go, oh, what's that over here? What's that over there? And yes, I know we love a bit of commercial stuff and the commercial.
I do, absolutely.
But people like going into those corners and going, oh, let's have a look at that. And
absolutely.
Oh, you can't get this anywhere else. This is just literally here at this shop. And that is lovely to have some of those.
Yeah. My mum also knits baby hats that she sells. And hang on.
Oh, I bet they're going to...
I feel like...
They're going to be so cute.
Look at this. Look at this. And she uses really beautiful yarn, so they're really, really soft. And she knits. She's the neatest knitter I've ever met in my entire life. She's like a machine. Yeah. So we sell, and that's what people can't get elsewhere. And there'll be things in your shop that no other shop in the world sells, and there'll be things in here that no other shop in the world sells. And you go into any shop and you find that beautiful uniqueness. Yeah. And that's what it's all about.
Well, do you know it? I knew talking to you was going to be refreshing. You've put a spring in my step for today.
And right back at you.
Oh, wonderful. And I know you open at 9:30, so
I do. I don't even know what the time is.
The clock is 9:30 on the nose, which is amazing. Before we go, you've got to tell us about your jumper, though, because people are going to be saying, "What's the pattern? What's the pattern?"
The pattern. So the pattern is Nocturnal. It's called Nocturnal. I had a black cat who died very imaginatively named Catty. And she released this pattern that week. And I was like, that's a sign. It's Saskie Knits, I think she is on Instagram, and she does beautiful Fair Isle. She lives in Alaska with rabbits, and it's very cool. But yes, she did this. It's called Nocturnal, and yes, and I'll warn you, there's three colours in a row, and it was hell, but totally worth it. Kid classic by Rowan. Love it. Wear it every winter.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
So lovely talking to you.
If you're looking for places to go, you might have been thinking, are we going to go to Bath? Well, there you go. Now you know what to do. Or go online and have a look. Or give her an email and say, I want that 2 peas in a pod.
Becky will be like, no, I can't make them quick enough. No, she will make one. Even if it sells, she'll make one for you. But it's been so lovely chatting to you, and I really deeply appreciate all the work you do for supporting local yarn shops. It means a lot, and it's important work.
Thank you very much. Well,
you're welcome.
It's been wonderful, and have the great rest of your day. I'll let you go and turn your sign. Have you got a fancy sign for your shop?
It's a jumper that says closed and open.
Go get it. I want to see it. Is it removable?
Yes.
I want you to come back and turn it from closed to open, and I'll say goodbye.
Okay.
Where is it?
It's going to be reversed, I think. So closed.
Oh, look at that. Cheers, Laura. Thanks very much. Have a great rest of your...
You too. And have a great Christmas as well.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Bye.